Beleaguered Canadian drug maker Valeant Pharmaceuticals is witnessing its shares pop for a change. They were up 4.5% on Monday, and they're rising another 4% today, all on the heels of a story that James Passeri, Real Money's reporter, broke on Monday. Hi, James. Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to see you.
So before we get into the details of this story, let's quickly catch everybody up on Valeant, of course, a stock that has been under a lot of pressure. And one of the key factors, and what's behind your story, is this famed short seller, Andrew Left. So let's remind people, how was it that he influenced Valeant in the fall last year?
Yeah, sure. Valeant Pharmaceutical shares are down about 90% since last summer as of yesterday. And a lot of that has to do with Andrew Left of Citron Research. He put out a lot of reports that said Valeant essentially is the pharmaceutical Enron because of regulatory pressure due to its price hiking and accounting principles tied to its former partnership with a mail-order pharmacy called Philidor. So he released the short position. He's developed an enormous amount of market clout. People follow him. And yesterday I was on the phone with him and he said he's kind of reverse tack. He has a long trade position on Valeant. He thinks the market's overreacted and that the shares are well poised to bounce, and he was right. Shares are up about 13% since before he called, and he's now been on the media circuit. He was just on CNBC talking about his new investment strategy. So yeah, so he has other targets in mind, and it looks like he's pretty much feels like Valeant's had enough damage from the market at this point.
We'll have to see if it sees any further lift from here. Let's talk specifically about price hikes, because that is one of the key issues for Valeant, these massive price hikes. The new CEO saying very recently that they're going to expand discounts on a couple of their drugs, but Left had a position on that. What did he say about that?
Yeah, so the new CEO, Joseph Papa, just stepped in, and he's trying to refurbish the company's image. He's trying to make Valeant a patient-first company. So that partially means discounting a lot of these drugs that have been hiked to exorbitant levels, allegedly. And a lot of investors feel like that might cramp Valeant's ability, its cash flow, its sales, especially as a very high debt burden. But Left says they're not going to do anything to torpedo their own company. They're going to make only enough steps insofar as to reestablish the brand as a patient-first drug maker, but it shouldn't impact in a meaningful way their sales and leverage.
And just before we close out, did you get a sense of Left's overall investing theme?
Yeah, I would say his theme now is to look for other targets. Who's next in the big pharma industry? And he's pointed to a drug maker called Mallinckrodt. And he thinks they have all the same problems Valeant did, but they haven't had the market, the media, or the political spotlight that Valeant and its management team has endured over the last couple months, the last several months.
Okay, well, we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah,
James,
thanks.
nice talking with you.
Of course, always.
I'm Jeannie Yerman for The Street.